Russ Harris, The Happiness Trap: How to Stop Struggling and Start Living, A Guide to Act. Dive into a transformative journey with The Happiness Trap: How to Stop Struggling and Start Living, A Guide to Act, by Russ Harris. This concise guide is rooted in acceptance and commitment therapy (ACT), offering readers a pathway to navigate life's challenges with mindfulness and clarity. Expect to explore the fascinating dynamics between the observing self and the thinking self, and learn techniques to diffuse intrusive and unhelpful thoughts. Through expansion, you'll discover how to make room for emotions instead of battling them, and techniques to connect deeply with the present moment. The book emphasizes aligning your actions with your core values to cultivate a fulfilling life. This summary demystifies these key concepts, presenting them in an accessible manner perfect for readers seeking practical strategies to enhance their mental well-being and realign their life's direction.
Awakening the observer. Picture yourself immersed in nature, admiring butterflies fluttering among flowers, or feeling the wind cascade through towering trees. In this serene setting, two parts of your consciousness come to life: the observing self and the thinking self. The observing self is all about the present moment. It perceives the beauty around without judgment or analysis. It's the part of you that simply enjoys the sensation of the summer breeze and the colors of the fluttering wings. But soon, your thinking self kicks in. It starts narrating, labeling, and evaluating the experience, commenting on the strength of the wind or regretting not bringing an umbrella. This thinking self is continually active, judging the world, recounting the past, and predicting the future. It's that endless stream of thoughts that often distracts from the simplicity and purity of being present. In acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, the spotlight is on the observing self. This is the state of awareness that lets you experience life without the clutter of constant analysis. It's a mental space that remains perpetually available, yet is frequently obscured by the ceaseless chatter of the thinking self. Reconnecting with your observing self requires practice. Start by choosing an object or sensation to focus on, like the sound of a baby's cries or the movement of your foot. Examine it as though it's unfamiliar, allowing your observing self to surface and take notice. Through this practice, you realize it's the observing self apprehending these impressions, free from opinion or critique. This awareness not only anchors you in the moment but also holds the potential to release you from the happiness trap, a concept to be explored further in forthcoming sections. Embracing the observing self can transform how you experience life's nuances, offering a path to genuine mindfulness and tranquility. Detaching from destructive thoughts. The power of the mind is undeniable, capable of shaping your world and solving your toughest problems. Yet, this same mind can also mislead you, especially when bombarded with incessant, unhelpful thoughts. Imagine you're waiting for a job interview. Your mind spirals into negativity, convincing you that you're unqualified and doomed to fail. If you buy into these beliefs, you fall into a trap called cognitive fusion, where your thoughts blur with reality, making you act on these negative assumptions as if they're factual. This leads to a vicious cycle of failure and more self-defeating thoughts. However, there's a way to break free from this mental trap: cognitive diffusion. Picture your thoughts not as truths but as simple creations of language, just letters and symbols. Through this lens, their influence diminishes, freeing you to focus on building the life you desire. One technique involves prefixing your thoughts with "I'm having the thought that." For instance, transforming "I'm a loser" into "I'm having the thought that I'm a loser" helps you recognize it as merely a thought, not reality. Harnessing your observing self is another effective method. Engage in taking 10 deep breaths and concentrate on your breathing. When thoughts arise, acknowledge them like you would when nodding to a stranger, yet remain focused on the rhythm of your breath. A brief but impactful tactic is to thank your mind each time a negative thought emerges. Simply say, "Thanks, mind," with genuine gratitude for its creativity in generating so many thoughts. This practice reduces the seriousness with which you treat these mental whispers. Understand that these thoughts won't vanish, they're hardwired into our mental fabric. The key is practicing acceptance of their presence without letting them dominate your mind. With diffusion, thoughts lose their overwhelming power, allowing you to act on what's truly meaningful in your life. Embrace your emotions. Emotions often carry more weight than they should, yet at their core, they are merely physical sensations triggered within our bodies. Consider how sweaty palms and a racing heartbeat are labeled by our minds as anxiety, or a fluttering stomach as love. By peeling away these judgments, you find nothing more than intricate bodily shifts. These emotions are essential threads in the fabric of a meaningful life, often surfacing as fear, sadness, or embarrassment. While you can't eliminate them entirely, you can choose to focus your energy on what truly matters instead of dwelling on these feelings. So, how does one handle challenging emotions? The answer lies in expansion, granting these emotions the space they need rather than trying to suppress them. This approach involves 3 key steps. Begin by observing your emotions with keen interest, just like a scientist would. Identify the discomfort, perhaps a knot in your throat or trembling legs, and give it your full attention. Next, take slow, deliberate breaths, visualizing each breath as it surrounds the discomfort, creating space for it to settle without constraint. Finally, simply allow the sensation to exist, do not fight, resist, or attempt to alter it. Acknowledge its presence and let it be a part of you momentarily. By doing so, you'll gradually reach a state of peace with these sensations, enabling you to address other emotions with the same mindfulness and acceptance. This mindful expansion not only alleviates the pressure of these feelings but also redirects your focus towards pursuing a more fulfilling and intentional life. Embrace the present. Imagine you're on an exquisite dinner date, but instead of savoring the moment, your mind drifts to yesterday's meeting or plans for a movie night. This is the nature of our thinking minds, always weaving through past and future, often detaching us from the present. Such distractions can hinder your connection to yourself and the world, leaving you detached from what's unfolding around you. The essence of living meaningfully lies in being present. By anchoring yourself in the current moment, you gain clarity and the ability to act purposefully. This state of mindfulness doesn't come naturally, it requires deliberate practice. A simple technique involves identifying 5 things around you, objects, sounds, sensations, at various points throughout your day. If this feels daunting, integrate mindfulness into your daily routine. While showering or sipping coffee, fully engage your senses, absorbing every detail. These practices sharpen your ability to stay connected, becoming invaluable tools when faced with unpleasant thoughts and emotions. Begin by acknowledging these thoughts without judgment, allowing them space without letting them engulf you. Observing your emotions similarly grants them the room they need, without wrestling for control. This mindful connection eventually leads to a more balanced psychological state, preparing you to tackle life's significant priorities with heightened focus and intention. Living your values. A rich and fulfilling life is driven by your core values, those principles that define who you are and what truly matters to you. Identifying these isn't always easy, but a helpful exercise is to picture yourself at 80, contemplating your life. What activities or commitments do you wish had filled your days? Your answers reveal what's genuinely important. Perhaps you yearn for more quality time with family, a drive to help others, or a desire to connect with diverse people. Understanding your values guides your actions. If being a loving spouse is vital, you might prioritize planning regular date nights. If building meaningful relationships is key, you'll actively seek new friendships. By aligning your actions with your values, you cultivate a sense of purpose. This connection is essential for living a fulfilling life that resonates with who you are and who you aspire to be. Values in action. Acting according to your values and persistence form the final principle of acceptance and commitment therapy. By now, you've learned to connect with your observing self and apply techniques like diffusion and expansion to reshape how you perceive unpleasant thoughts and feelings. You've pinpointed your core values. Now, it's time to translate these values into action. Start by listing the values you feel most disconnected from, those you're not yet embodying but aspire to. These will be your initial focus. With your values clear, set immediate, short-term, medium-range, and long-term goals. Immediate goals are attainable today, reflecting the values you've identified. Short-term goals span the coming days or weeks, while medium-range goals extend through weeks and months. Long-term goals are the life achievements you aim for in the coming years. Ensure all goals are value-driven. Crafting an action plan is your next move. This plan includes specific steps toward your goals, the resources or skills required, and a timeline for executing these steps. Plan diligently, but remember, life will throw obstacles your way. Achieving goals isn't guaranteed, nor should they be your sole focus. Commitment to your values is key. If happiness is tied only to achieved goals, satisfaction eludes you. Instead, living by your values enriches life daily. Goals remain, but fulfillment lies in embodying values consistently through daily actions. So, while pursuing your ambitions, relish the practice of your values. This approach ensures you live a rewarding life, enriched by meaningful actions aligned with your true self.
Russ Harris's The Happiness Trap presents a powerful toolkit for overcoming mental hurdles and crafting a life aligned with true values. By engaging the observing self, you learn to witness rather than be swept away by your thoughts and emotions. Techniques like diffusion help disarm unhelpful thoughts, while expansion teaches embracing, not avoiding, difficult emotions. The emphasis on living in the present enhances your connection to the immediate world, fostering mindfulness and awareness. The ultimate goal of aligning actions with your personal values encourages continual growth towards a truly fulfilling life. Through this understanding, the book reminds us that happiness is not a destination but an ongoing process of engagement with our authentic selves. By applying these principles, readers are equipped to break free from the happiness trap and embrace a life of meaningful action and purpose.